My friends, there exists within the human mind a peculiar paradox that has confounded me throughout my decades of research into the principles of achievement. While most people claim they desire success, wealth, and recognition, I have discovered that the greatest enemy of success is not failure, poverty, or external circumstances. It is the fear of success itself. This fear manifests in the most successful individuals I have studied, from Andrew Carnegie to Henry Ford, from Thomas Edison to Charles Schwab. Each of these titans of industry confessed to me moments when they sabotaged their own progress, not from fear of failure, but from an unconscious terror of what success would demand of them. Today I shall reveal to you a systematic method, developed through careful observation of over 500 successful individuals, to eliminate this destructive fear in precisely 7 days. This is not mere theory, but a proven formula that has transformed the lives of countless individuals who dared to apply it with unwavering determination. Chapter 1. Understanding the nature of success fear. Before we can destroy an enemy, we must first understand its nature. The fear of success is perhaps the most insidious of all fears because it masquerades as humility, caution, or practical thinking. It whispers to you that you are not worthy of great achievement, that success will isolate you from others, or that with great success comes great responsibility you cannot handle. During my extensive conversations with Andrew Carnegie, he revealed a startling truth. Napoleon, he said, "The moment I realized I could become the wealthiest man in America, I became terrified. Not of poverty, I had conquered that fear long ago, but of the person I would need to become to achieve such heights." This fear operates on 3 distinct levels within the subconscious mind. First, there is the fear of unworthiness, the belief that you do not deserve the success you seek. Second, there is the fear of isolation, the concern that success will separate you from friends, family, and your current identity. Third, there is the fear of responsibility, the overwhelming sense that success will burden you with obligations you cannot fulfill. Charles Schwab once confided in me that he deliberately sabotaged several business opportunities early in his career because, as he put it, I was more comfortable being a big fish in a small pond than risking becoming a small fish in an ocean of responsibility. The most dangerous aspect of success fear is its subtlety. It does not announce itself with the dramatic symptoms of other fears. Instead, it operates through procrastination, perfectionism, and self-sabotage. You find yourself delaying important decisions, overcomplicating simple tasks, or creating unnecessary obstacles to your own progress. I have observed that this fear is particularly acute among individuals who possess the greatest potential for achievement. It is as if the subconscious mind recognizes the magnitude of what is possible and recoils from the transformation required to achieve it. Chapter 2, Day 1, The Declaration of Worthiness. Your 7-day transformation begins with a fundamental shift in your relationship with success itself. On this first day, you must make a declaration that will serve as the foundation for all that follows. You are worthy of unlimited success. This is not a mere affirmation or positive thinking exercise. This is a scientific reprogramming of your subconscious mind based on irrefutable evidence. The evidence is this: you exist. Your very existence is proof that the infinite intelligence of the universe has deemed you worthy of life, consciousness, and the capacity for achievement. Thomas Edison shared with me a profound realization he experienced early in his career. Napoleon, I discovered that the same force that created my capacity to think also created my capacity to achieve. To doubt my worthiness of success was to doubt the wisdom of creation itself. Your task for day 1 is to compile what I call a worthiness inventory. This is a written record of every achievement, no matter how small, that you have accomplished in your lifetime. Include academic achievements, personal victories, moments when you helped others, times when you overcame obstacles, and instances when you demonstrated courage, persistence, or creativity. Write these achievements by hand. The physical act of writing engages different neural pathways than typing and creates a deeper impression on the subconscious mind. As you write each achievement, pause and feel the emotion associated with that success. Allow yourself to experience pride, satisfaction, and confidence. Next, you must perform what I call the worthiness ritual. Stand before a mirror, look directly into your own eyes, and read your worthiness inventory aloud. As you speak each achievement, maintain eye contact with yourself and say, "I am worthy of this success, and I am worthy of even greater success." This exercise may feel uncomfortable initially. The fear of success often manifests as discomfort with acknowledging our own achievements. Push through this discomfort. It is merely the old programming resisting change. End day one by writing a letter to yourself from the perspective of your future successful self. In this letter, your successful self explains why you deserve every achievement you will attain and how your success will benefit not only yourself, but countless others whose lives you will touch. Chapter 3, Day 2, Redefining Success as Service. The second day of your transformation focuses on eliminating the fear that success will make you selfish, isolated, or disconnected from others. This fear stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of true success. Henry Ford revolutionized my understanding of this principle when he told me, "Napoleon, I never sought success for its own sake. I sought to serve humanity by making transportation accessible to every family in America." Success was merely the natural result of that service. True success is never selfish. It is the ultimate expression of service to others. Every successful individual I have studied achieved their position by solving problems, fulfilling needs, or improving the lives of others. The greater their service, the greater their success. Your task for day 2 is to reframe your success goals in terms of service. Take each of your major ambitions and ask yourself, how will achieving this goal enable me to serve others more effectively? Write detailed answers that connect your personal success to the benefit of others. For example, if your goal is financial wealth, consider how that wealth will enable you to provide for your family, contribute to charitable causes, create employment opportunities, or invest in innovations that benefit society. If your goal is professional recognition, consider how that recognition will give you a platform to mentor others, share knowledge, or influence positive change. Create what I call a service success map, a visual representation showing how your individual success creates ripple effects of benefit for others. Draw yourself at the center, then draw lines connecting to all the people and causes that will benefit from your achievement. Charles Schwab demonstrated this principle beautifully when he explained his approach to business expansion. Every time I was tempted to limit my growth out of fear of becoming too successful, I reminded myself that my success meant jobs for thousands of families, products that improved people's lives, and innovations that advanced our entire industry. Spend time on day 2 visualizing yourself in your successful state, but focus not on the personal benefits you will receive, but on the service you will be able to provide. See yourself using your success to lift others, to solve problems, and to make positive contributions to the world. This reframing transforms success from a selfish pursuit into a moral obligation. When you understand that your success enables greater service, the fear of success becomes not just irrational, but irresponsible. Chapter 4, Day 3, Embracing the Growth Imperative. The third day addresses one of the most paralyzing aspects of success fear, the terror of becoming someone different from who you are today. Many individuals unconsciously sabotage their progress because they fear that success will fundamentally change their identity, relationships, and values. This fear is based on a profound misunderstanding of the nature of growth. Success does not change who you are. It reveals who you have always been capable of becoming. The acorn does not cease to be an acorn when it becomes an oak tree. It simply fulfills its inherent potential. Andrew Carnegie illuminated this principle during one of our conversations. Napoleon, I was the same person when I had nothing as when I had everything. Success did not change my character. It gave me the resources to express my character more fully. Your task for day 3 is to distinguish between your core identity and your circumstantial identity. Your core identity consists of your fundamental values, your capacity for love, your desire to contribute, and your essential character traits. Your circumstantial identity consists of your current financial situation, social status, living conditions, and external circumstances. Create 2 lists, one titled Who I Am at My Core and another titled My Current Circumstances. In the first list, include your deepest values, your natural talents, your capacity for relationships, your moral principles, and your fundamental personality traits. In the second list, include your current job, income level, living situation, social circle, and material possessions. Study these lists carefully. Notice that everything in your core identity list can remain constant regardless of your level of success. Your values do not need to change when your income increases. Your capacity for love does not diminish when your influence expands. Your moral principles do not weaken when your opportunities multiply. Thomas Edison shared a powerful insight about this principle. I remained curious, persistent, and innovative, whether I was working in a basement laboratory or a world-renowned research facility. Success gave me better tools to express these qualities, but it never changed the qualities themselves. Next, create what I call a growth visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself achieving your greatest success goals while maintaining all the core qualities you value most about yourself. See yourself being generous with increased wealth, remaining humble despite recognition, staying connected to loved ones despite busy schedules, and using greater influence to uphold your deepest values. Write a detailed description of this visualization, focusing on how success enhances rather than threatens your core identity. This exercise programs your subconscious mind to view success as an expansion of your authentic self rather than a departure from it. End day 3 by making a commitment to yourself. I will grow into the fullest expression of who I already am, and I will use my success to live my values more completely than ever before. Chapter 5, Day 4, Mastering the Responsibility Paradigm. The fourth day confronts perhaps the most sophisticated form of success fear, the overwhelming sense that greater achievement brings unbearable responsibility. This fear manifests as thoughts such as, I cannot handle the pressure, people will depend on me too much, or I will be responsible for others' failures. This fear reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of the relationship between success and responsibility. Responsibility is not a burden imposed by success. It is the very mechanism through which success is achieved and maintained. Charles Schwab taught me a revolutionary perspective on this principle. Napoleon, I discovered that responsibility is not something success gives you. It is something you must take before success will come to you. The moment I stopped fearing responsibility and started embracing it, success became inevitable. The truth is that you are already responsible for your life, your choices, and your results. Success does not add responsibility. It simply makes your existing responsibility more visible and impactful. The person who fears the responsibility of success is actually fearing the responsibility they already possess, but have been avoiding. Your task for day 4 is to conduct what I call a responsibility audit. Make a comprehensive list of all the responsibilities you currently carry. Your responsibility for your own happiness, health, financial situation, relationships, personal growth, and contribution to others. Next to each current responsibility, write how greater success would enhance your ability to fulfill that responsibility rather than burden you with additional obligations. For example, greater financial success enhances your responsibility for your family's security rather than adding new burdens. Professional recognition enhances your responsibility to share knowledge rather than creating overwhelming demands. Henry Ford demonstrated this principle when he explained his approach to business growth. Each level of success gave me greater resources to fulfill the responsibilities I already carried. When I had a small workshop, I was responsible for serving a few customers well. When I had a global company, I was responsible for serving millions of customers well. The scale changed, but the fundamental responsibility remained the same. Create what I call a responsibility empowerment statement. This is a written declaration that reframes responsibility as a source of power rather than a burden. Write something like, I embrace responsibility because it is the price of freedom. I welcome greater responsibility because it signals greater capacity. I seek responsibility because it is the pathway to meaningful contribution. Practice what I call responsibility visualization. Imagine yourself successfully managing the responsibilities that come with your desired level of success. See yourself making wise decisions, leading effectively, handling pressure with grace, and using your influence to create positive outcomes. Feel the satisfaction and fulfillment that comes from carrying responsibility well. Thomas Edison once told me, "The responsibility that comes with success is not a weight to be carried, but wings to be used." It lifts you to heights where you can see farther, reach more people, and make a greater difference. End day 4 by writing a letter to someone who might one day depend on your success. Perhaps a future employee, customer, or beneficiary of your achievements. In this letter, explain how you are preparing yourself to handle the responsibility of serving them well. Chapter 6, Day 5, Programming Success Inevitability. The 5th day focuses on replacing the fear-based programming in your subconscious mind with what I call success inevitability programming. This is the systematic installation of beliefs, images, and emotions that make success feel not just possible, but inevitable. The subconscious mind operates on the principle of familiarity. It moves toward what feels familiar and resists what feels foreign. If success feels foreign to your subconscious mind, it will unconsciously sabotage your efforts to achieve it. If success feels familiar and inevitable, your subconscious mind will automatically guide you toward it. Andrew Carnegie revealed this principle to me through a personal confession, Napoleon. For years, I struggled to break through certain levels of achievement. Then I realized I was programming myself for limitation by constantly imagining what could go wrong. The moment I began programming myself for success by constantly imagining what would go right, my results transformed dramatically. Your task for day 5 is to create what I call a success inevitability protocol, a systematic daily practice that programs your subconscious mind for success rather than fear. Begin by creating a detailed written description of your life after you have achieved your major success goals. Write this description in present tense, as if you are already living this reality. Include specific details about your daily routine, your environment, your relationships, your work, and your contributions to others. For example, I wake each morning in my beautiful home, feeling grateful for another day to serve others through my work. I begin my day with meditation and planning, then spend my time leading my successful organization, making decisions that benefit thousands of people, and using my resources to support causes I believe in. Read this description aloud every morning and evening, allowing yourself to feel the emotions associated with this reality. The combination of detailed visualization, emotional engagement, and repetition creates new neural pathways that make success feel familiar to your subconscious mind. Next, create what I call success evidence files. These are collections of evidence that success is not only possible for you, but inevitable. Include examples of others who have achieved similar goals, documentation of your own progress toward your objectives, testimonials from people who believe in your potential, and records of small successes that demonstrate your capacity for larger achievements. Charles Schwab employed a similar technique. I kept a journal of every small victory, every positive feedback, every sign that I was moving in the right direction. When doubt crept in, I would review this evidence and remind myself that success was not a matter of if, but when. Practice what I call inevitability affirmations, statements that program your mind for certain success. Examples include, "My success is inevitable because I am committed to continuous growth and service. Every day brings me closer to my inevitable success, and I am becoming the person who naturally attracts the success I desire." Thomas Edison demonstrated the power of this programming when he told me, "I never doubted that I would eventually solve every problem I tackled. I might not know how or when, but I programmed my mind with the absolute certainty that a solution existed and that I would find it." End day 5 by creating what I call a success timeline, a visual representation showing your inevitable progression from your current situation to your ultimate success goals with specific milestones and target dates. Post this timeline where you will see it daily. Chapter 7, Day 6, Eliminating Success Sabotage Patterns. The 6th day addresses the unconscious behaviors and thought patterns that sabotage success even when conscious desire for achievement is strong. These sabotage patterns are the practical manifestations of success fear, and they must be identified and eliminated for lasting transformation. Success sabotage typically manifests in three primary forms: procrastination on important tasks, perfectionism that prevents completion, and self-destructive behaviors that undermine progress. Each of these patterns serves the unconscious purpose of preventing the achievement that the conscious mind claims to desire. Henry Ford shared with me a candid admission about his own sabotage patterns. Napoleon: "I realized I was unconsciously creating obstacles to my own success. I would delay important decisions, overcomplicate simple processes, and find reasons to avoid opportunities that could advance my goals. It was as if part of me was working against my own interests." Your task for day 6 is to conduct what I call a sabotage pattern analysis. For the next 24 hours, maintain heightened awareness of your thoughts and behaviors, specifically looking for patterns that might be undermining your success. Create a sabotage pattern log with 3 columns: trigger situation, sabotage behavior, and underlying fear. Record every instance where you notice yourself procrastinating, overcomplicating, avoiding opportunities, or engaging in behaviors that move you away from your goals. For example, trigger situation: opportunity to apply for promotion, sabotage behavior, spent 3 hours researching requirements. Instead of submitting application, underlying fear that promotion would require skills I don't possess. Once you have identified your primary sabotage patterns, create what I call success behavior replacements. For each sabotage behavior, design a specific alternative behavior that moves you toward success instead of away from it. Charles Schwab developed a powerful technique for this transformation. Whenever I caught myself engaging in a sabotage behavior, I would immediately ask myself, what would a successful person do in this situation? Then I would force myself to take that action, regardless of how uncomfortable it felt. Practice what I call pattern interruption techniques. When you notice yourself beginning a sabotage behavior, physically interrupt the pattern by standing up, taking 3 deep breaths, and asking yourself, is this behavior moving me toward my goals or away from them? Then, consciously choose the success-supporting alternative. Create success accountability systems. Share your sabotage patterns with a trusted friend or mentor and ask them to help you recognize when you are engaging in these behaviors. Sometimes external perspective is necessary to see patterns that we are blind to ourselves. Thomas Edison employed a similar approach. I trained my assistants to point out when I was overcomplicating problems or avoiding difficult decisions. I gave them permission to challenge me when they saw me working against my own interests. End day 6 by writing what I call a sabotage elimination commitment, a formal pledge to yourself that you will no longer tolerate behaviors that undermine your success. Include specific strategies you will use to catch and redirect sabotage patterns as they arise. Chapter 8, Day 7, Installing Success Momentum Systems. The 7th and final day of your transformation focuses on creating sustainable systems that maintain your freedom from success fear and generate continuous momentum toward your goals. Transformation without systems is temporary. Transformation with systems becomes permanent. The principle of momentum is fundamental to sustained success. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, while an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Your task is to create systems that keep you in constant motion toward your success goals, making it more difficult to stop than to continue. Andrew Carnegie explained this principle to me with characteristic clarity. Napoleon: "The secret to maintaining success momentum is to create daily practices that automatically move you forward, regardless of how you feel on any given day." Success cannot depend on motivation alone. It must be built into your daily systems. Your first task for day 7 is to design what I call a daily success protocol, a specific sequence of activities that you will perform every day to maintain your success mindset and generate forward momentum. This protocol should include 5 essential elements: success visualization, 5 minutes of imagining your goals as already achieved, growth learning, 15 minutes of studying success principles or acquiring new skills, progress action, at least one specific action that moves you toward your goals, success gratitude, acknowledging progress you have made and opportunities you possess, and tomorrow planning preparing specific actions for the following day. Create what I call success trigger systems, environmental cues that automatically prompt success-supporting behaviors. For example, Place your goal list next to your coffee maker so you review it every morning. Set phone reminders to practice success affirmations, or arrange your workspace to make productive activities easier than distracting ones. Charles Schwab implemented a powerful trigger system. I placed visual reminders of my goals throughout my environment, in my office, my home, even my automobile. These constant visual cues kept my subconscious mind focused on success rather than allowing it to drift toward fear or doubt. Establish what I call success measurement rituals, regular practices for tracking and celebrating your progress. Weekly progress reviews, monthly goal assessments, and quarterly success celebrations create positive feedback loops that reinforce your commitment to achievement. Design success support networks, relationships with individuals who encourage your growth and hold you accountable for your commitments. This might include mentors, success-minded friends, professional coaches, or mastermind groups focused on achievement. Thomas Edison understood the power of support networks. I surrounded myself with individuals who believed in possibilities rather than limitations. Their faith in what could be achieved strengthened my own faith when challenges arose. Create what I call a success maintenance plan, a written strategy for maintaining your fear-free mindset when faced with setbacks, criticism, or unexpected challenges. This plan should include specific techniques for reframing obstacles as opportunities, methods for maintaining confidence during difficult periods, and resources you can access when you need encouragement or guidance. Finally, establish success legacy practices, activities that connect your personal success to the benefit of others. This might include mentoring others, sharing your knowledge, contributing to causes you believe in, or creating value that extends beyond your own life. When your success serves a purpose larger than yourself, fear becomes irrelevant. End day 7 by writing what I call a success commitment declaration, a formal statement of your intention to live without fear of success and to pursue your goals with unwavering determination. Sign this declaration and date it, then refer to it whenever you need to remember the transformation you have achieved. Chapter 9, The Science of Sustained Transformation. Now that you have completed the 7-day protocol, it is essential to understand the scientific principles that make this transformation permanent. The human mind is remarkably adaptable, but it requires consistent reinforcement to maintain new patterns of thought and behavior. Neuroscience has confirmed what I observed through decades of studying successful individuals. The brain physically changes in response to repeated thoughts and behaviors. When you consistently practice success-supporting thoughts and actions, you literally rewire your neural pathways to make success feel natural and fear feel foreign. However, this rewiring process requires approximately 66 days of consistent practice to become automatic. The 7-day protocol you have completed is merely the foundation, the beginning of a lifelong practice of success-oriented thinking and behavior. Andrew Carnegie emphasized this principle. Napoleon, the difference between those who achieve lasting success and those who experience temporary victories is the consistency of their daily practices. Success is not an event, it is a way of life. To maintain your transformation, you must understand what I call the 3 pillars of success sustainability: consistent daily practice, progressive goal advancement, and continuous learning and growth. Consistent daily practice means performing your daily success protocol without exception, regardless of circumstances, emotions, or external pressures. This consistency creates the neural pathways that make success thinking automatic rather than effortful. Progressive goal advancement means continuously setting and achieving increasingly challenging objectives. As you accomplish goals, your confidence grows and your capacity expands, creating an upward spiral of achievement that makes success fear impossible to maintain. Continuous learning and growth means constantly acquiring new knowledge, skills, and perspectives that enhance your ability to achieve and contribute. Growth creates excitement about the future rather than fear of what success might require. Charles Schwab demonstrated these principles throughout his career. I never allowed myself to become comfortable with my current level of achievement. I constantly sought new challenges, learned new skills, and expanded my vision of what was possible. This kept me moving forward rather than allowing fear to creep back in. Remember that fear of success is not eliminated once and forgotten. It is a tendency that must be consciously managed throughout your journey of achievement. The difference is that you now possess the tools and understanding to recognize this fear when it arises and to neutralize it before it can sabotage your progress. Chapter 10, Your Success Imperative. As we conclude this transformational journey, I must share with you a truth that has become increasingly clear through my years of studying human achievement. Your success is not optional, it is an imperative. You are not placed on this earth to live in fear of your own potential. You are not given talents, dreams, and desires only to suppress them out of false humility or misguided caution. You were designed for achievement, created for contribution, and destined for success. The world needs what you have to offer. There are problems that only you can solve, people that only you can serve, and contributions that only you can make. When you allow fear to prevent your success, you rob not only yourself, but everyone whose life could be improved by your achievements. Thomas Edison expressed this principle beautifully. Napoleon, I realized that my inventions were not really mine. They belonged to humanity. I was simply the channel through which they came into existence. To fear success would have been to deny humanity the benefits of these innovations. Your fear of success is ultimately a fear of your own power, the power to create, to influence, to contribute, and to make a difference. But power without action is meaningless, and potential without expression is wasted. The 7-day protocol you have completed has given you the tools to destroy success fear, but tools are only valuable when they are used. Your transformation will be complete only when you take consistent action toward your goals with the confidence and determination that your success is inevitable. I challenge you to make a commitment that extends far beyond these 7 days. Commit to living as the successful person you are destined to become. Commit to serving others through your achievements. Commit to growing into the fullest expression of your potential. Andrew Carnegie left me with words that I now leave with you. The greatest tragedy is not that people fail to achieve success, but that they fail to attempt it. Do not let fear rob you of the life you were meant to live and the contribution you were meant to make. Your success journey begins now. The fear that once held you back has been destroyed. The path forward is clear. The only question remaining is, will you have the courage to walk it? Remember, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. You have conceived your success, you now believe in your worthiness to achieve it, and you possess the tools to make it reality. The world is waiting for your contribution. Success is waiting for your commitment. Your destiny is waiting for your decision. The time for fear is over. The time for success is now. Go forth and claim the success that is rightfully yours. Let nothing, especially not fear, stand between you and the achievement of your dreams.